Hosts Kevin Arnold and Nick Paulus.
Being a Browns fan, you're so used to on Sundays in the fall, waking up, being Browns game day, waiting till 1 p.m., getting all of your Browns takes out throughout the game, after the game, and by the time Sunday night comes, you can just relax, get ready for the work week. But it's been a good weird today to not be all amped up for a Browns game day. We get Monday Night Football right here in Cleveland, a December Monday Night Football game that matters, something we have been waiting a long time for as Browns fans, and we are here tonight to preview that game and more here on the Voice of the Land, a Big Play production, also partnered with web streaming studio by LPV Productions. I am one of your hosts, as always, Kevin Arnold, and alongside me across the table, my brother, Nick Paulus, and our producer extraordinaire behind the proverbial glass because he doesn't want a camera on him, Peter Tellup. Of course, you can always find us on our Twitter page at VTL_pod. Paulus, you can find it at CLE_Paulus, myself at Kevin7, because you know I always come through in the clutch. And LPV Productions you can find on all social media sites. We also have an Instagram page, same handle as the Twitter page, and a Facebook page at Voice of the Land. You can always hit the like button there, and find us on YouTube at Voice of the Land Podcast. Of course, we are live every single Sunday night, 7 p.m., live here on our Twitter page, our Facebook page, Big Play's Facebook page, their YouTube page at Big Play Live, and across the Sportscaster app. Like I said, tonight we are here to preview the Browns and Ravens Monday Night Football matchup. We will be joined at 7:20 by three-time Super Bowl champ and ESPN Cleveland personality Jerod Cherry, Jerod Cherry 3. You can follow him there on Twitter. We're really looking forward to reconnecting with him. Haven't spoken to him in a minute, so really looking forward to having him on as well. And now you can always find us always on our podcast platforms, the podcast platforms I'm sure you're all familiar with, Google, Spotify, and Apple. We upload right after we finish up with the live episode. So if you just want to go back and listen, don't want to see our faces on your screen, you can just turn on the audio right there on your favorite podcast platform, and it'll be right there for you. Or catch all the clips we post throughout the week. Really looking forward to having good conversation tonight. We may even talk about Paulus thinking he can make the Olympics by being a break dancer. Paulus didn't know I was going to bring that up. I saw the tweet. You got some moves?
Do I got some moves?
You got some moves?
Some people might say that, yeah.
You want to show us?
Right now?
Yeah.
You know what? If you had some cardboard. If you had some cardboard, break it out. You know, we can do that.
I'm sure in these studios, I'm sure in the back office we can
sure
find some.
Probably find some, you know, but we're on a live show right now, so you know, let's keep up with that right now.
Oh, okay. I knew I was going to throw you with that one.
You did. You absolutely did. No, I didn't see that one coming.
I got to keep you on your toes, brother.
Of course.
Got to keep you on your toes.
Absolutely.
But we do need to jump right into this Browns game. It is a big game for the Cleveland Browns. Of course, losing the opening season matchup in Baltimore, I believe it was 38-6.
38-6.
Because we missed the extra point. That's what cost Austin Seibert his job. Why Cody Parkey is here.
It is exactly 3 months to the day since that game was played. So, I mean, think about how far we've come as Browns, not only Browns fans, but this Browns team, how far it's come from since then to 0-1 to 9-3. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable, really. I mean, but John Harbaugh even said in his media sessions this week, he tried to tell people the Browns were a good team. I guess he was trying to tell me too, because maybe there's been times where I've been, a little harsh on him, but just Coach Kev's got to come out. He's got to go up to that whiteboard. He's got to get his stuff out. Sometimes Coach
got to
Kev,
have a little bit of reality on this show. I might be the endless optimistic over here, but you definitely bring the reality check to bring me back into it. And I appreciate that.
I know you hate it, so I try to pull back a little bit, but I got to keep you on your toes. I got to bring the reality checks even for you, brother. I mean, that's just
appreciate that. Thanks.
That's how we got to operate. Looking at this game tomorrow, though, based on both teams are different, what they've gone through this year, what importance level do you put on this matchup tomorrow night against a division foe that, while you're going for a wild card spot,
Right.
you still want to start proving a point that you're building the culture we all see Kevin Stefanski building?
So for me personally, the way that I'm looking at this is, I mean, obviously every game, the next game is the most important game. Like we're at that level now where last week was probably Baker's career defining day. Okay. But this week it's another career defining day. Like that's the way that we have to have this mindset going forward, because if you don't, then you're just going to get stuck in mediocrity. And if that happens, then you're screwing yourselves, and that's basically what's going to come down to. I think this division game means so much more to the Baltimore Ravens than it does to the Cleveland Browns that it sort of scares me. I'm not going to lie. It does, because everything that we've had, everything that is going on with, with the way the league's running right now. Right now, the Colts are up 44-27 right now. The Dolphins had already lost today to the Chiefs, so that knocks them down a little bit. That gives us a little bit of breathing room. Okay, now that does mean for the I'm sorry, not for the Raiders, but for the Ravens, they are going to be desperate not to fall back another game there for them. Even though that those teams fell back a little bit, they are going to be going all out for this. I need to make sure that our Browns players know that they have to match wow,
words are hard, but so fun.
The intensity, a level of what the Ravens players are going to be coming out with, because they're going to come out and they're going to try and kill Baker Mayfield. That is a straight up fact. I know Calais Campbell's hurt right now, but that 6'7", 290-pound man is going to try and sit on Baker Mayfield and break him in half. And that's something that we can't have. Wyatt Teller, thank God we have him. Not breaking news, but breaking news 5 hours ago. Wyatt Teller is, he's going to be in the game. And that is huge news. It is unfortunate that we're not going to have Denzel here, but the biggest thing is getting that offensive line straight, because we're going to need to score some points tomorrow. Like I'm not saying that we got to score 30 plus, but you got to keep up. What you did against the Titans, that's going to look like patty cake compared to what we're going to see tomorrow. We're going to get hit in the face, and we got to be able to take that punch and deliver a blow right back, because I'm telling you right now, the Ravens are going to come out with haymakers. And if you can withstand the haymakers in the first half, I think you're going to be okay the second half. It's a weird combo, because over the last couple of weeks, we start out, doing pretty well, and then that second half, teams start catching up. I think this week it's going to have to be the opposite. I think that we're going to need to take a couple of hits the first half and then just fight our way back, because that's what this team's going to be all about. Making the playoffs isn't easy. And if we want to knock out the Ravens tomorrow, and it's honestly, if they go to 7-6, their playoff chances drop to 25%. That would be huge. I would love nothing more than for us to lock up a playoff spot and to knock the Ravens out.
Last week you had something to prove against the Titans, and you didn't just bottle up Derrick Henry, who went off today.
200 plus, man. Ooh.
And some of the highlights I was seeing, because I didn't get a chance to watch all the games. Met up with a buddy that was in town, fellow healthcare worker. So of course, shout out to all of them as well. The COVID just keeps going, just keeps impacting everything. But shout out to my buddy Ray. He was in town, so we kind of did a socially distant, very safe, mask wearing meetup today. But, just seeing some of the highlights, that's what we expected to see against a defense that gives up a lot of yards in the Browns defense. Yes, they get a lot of turnovers, but they give up a lot of yards. They didn't just bottle him up last week. They hit him. But it's not just one guy you got to worry about in that rushing attack. It's four guys. The Ravens can hit you with four guys from the rushing attack. And if you are able to stop that, while he doesn't pass the ball efficiently all the time, can hit you up over the top because guys are so wide open. So even if it's not the perfect pass, you got Mark Andrews streaking down the middle of the field, and he's picking up 25, 30 yards before you know what hit you. So they can hit you from all angles. You have to be ready to out-physical this team. We talked about how we can't just listen to what the Browns say. They have to go out there and prove it. Well, they went out there and proved it last week by their play. One thing they always say is that they don't listen to outside noise. Now, the only outside noise leading up to that game was against them. This week, that tide finally turned because they earned that respect.
It did to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, right. But a lot more than you have heard in the past. Kudos to them, to those that did it. If you're not, whatever. I mean, it's your opinion. You're entitled to that opinion. I'm not someone that's going to go at all of these national media guys and girls that still talk bad about the Browns. We know we love our team. We know what they have to do. Let them talk how they want to talk, and things will pan out how they will by how teams play on the field. But the narrative this week has kind of shifted more positive about this team than it has negative. If you really aren't listening to the outside noise, you're going to come out this week against another good opponent like you did last week against the Titans in Tennessee. And now you're at home. If you are listening to the outside noise, you better not be letting that positive atmosphere swell your head and turn into what we saw last year when there was a lot of hype from everyone coming into the season before they even played a game, and we saw how that season turned out. Yes, I know some personnel, coaching staff is different, but we saw how that turned out last year. We don't need a repeat of that this year. I think one advantage for the Browns is that the governor came out and said that there is an exception like there was last night for the MLS Cup and the Columbus Crew winning. We'll get to that later because I got to, support the glory to Columbus.
Right. Yeah.
But the Governor Mike DeWine, came out and said that since fans are allowed, he's not taking that away, and no cities are taking that ability away for fans to attend games, so they don't have to worry about any sort of ramifications being out or having to leave games early. So you still get your 12,000 fans to provide as much energy as possible from a socially distant and safe position in the stands. I will be one of those fans tomorrow night with my girlfriend. I believe Tyler, our good buddy, Tyler LaFrada, will be one of those people.
Right.
And just as a sidebar, just want to remind everybody and thank Tyler for sponsoring our show and having so much faith in us. We can't thank you enough. We are honored that you have so much faith in us, Tyler. And a lot of people have put their faith in your company, DP Construction LLC, for their concrete construction needs. You can reach out to them by phone, 330-217-4999. That's 330-217-4999. Hit up Tyler by email, tylerlafrada@gmail.com, or find their Facebook page with all of the beautiful pictures of the concrete work him and Uncle Steve have done with their company. Browns fans, you know what sort of blue-collar mentality and work ethic they are going to bring and provide to you in your homes. So reach out to them. They have put faith in us. We have faith in them. So many people have put faith in them, and looking forward to maybe from a distance away waving to our buddy Tyler tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll be a lot closer than I am. But in COVID-19 2020, I am plenty okay with yelling at the top of my lungs from the top of First Energy Stadium, being as safe as possible, being away from people. Not that I don't like you, Browns fans. Trust me, I love you all. We all have love for each other. That's why I want to keep each other safe. So if you are going to the game tomorrow, just remember, wear your mask, be socially distant, go to the right gate that they want you to go into. I got to figure mine out, by the way. I still haven't gotten any information on that, where our tickets go, what gate we're supposed to go to. But just let's bring the energy safely tomorrow night, because the Browns team is going to need it. Peter, where are you at with this game tomorrow night? The level of importance for the Browns to show after winning a big one last week on the road.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm nervously excited because it is a big game, and I worry that if the Browns come out and do what they did last week and build up that lead, the Ravens team is it can be explosive, and Lamar Jackson, he's hard to contain. And that's one of the actually
just a little bit.
Just a little bit. A friend of mine actually ran a Madden, the Madden game last night.
Yeah.
The matchup, And he sent me the screenshot of it, and I was laughing because it had the Ravens rushing yards as 32, and I'm like, come on, Lamar's going to probably get that on one play at some point.
Very well could.
A 4th and 1, because that's what happens.
Don't wish that on us, man.
I'm not. Well,
I know you're not.
I'm not wishing it on us. I'm just being realistic here. No, I'm excited about the game. Jacob is planning. He's hoping to stay up to watch the whole thing.
Right.
So he's got school the next morning. So we'll see. My wife already said, I don't care anymore. It's 2020.
At this point in time, yeah.
At this point in time, he's a straight A student. We'll let it
nice.
slide.
There you go.
So,
well done.
That's the statement to wrap up this year. It's 2020, or because 2020. She's given up on making sure the kids get to bed to wake up to get in front of their computers at home.
Yep.
It's just, if anybody asks why or what happened, just say it's 2020.
They both got straight A's. They're doing better in school than I ever did, so I can't complain.
And as much as we make light of it a little bit, I mean, it's kind of a coping mechanism for how difficult this year really has been. And to have sports there for you has really been a coping mechanism as well. And while it's not the most important thing, we know that, it's something to help us escape like it always has, and it's been there the whole time. Now, we will be joined by Jerod Cherry in just a few moments here as we'll talk more about the game with him, get his thoughts. If you have any questions or thoughts on the game tomorrow, any predictions, any thoughts on the keys to the game, we will get to ours as we wrap everything up, going into it with Jerod and on the other side of the interview. But any of your keys, questions maybe for Jerod that you want to ask, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, or even the YouTubes, send us those questions. We'll try to get some of those in or address those at some point during the show tonight. And appreciate everybody tuning in. This is going to be a big one because it's not just that you have a big game against a playoff probable opponent or possible opponent. Not saying that the matchups would necessarily say the Browns would play the Ravens in the playoffs, but another team that we know is high quality. They've gone through a lot with COVID-19 themselves. You kind of saw last week, while it was against the Cowboys, the dominance that the Ravens team can bring and what kind of threat they pose to opposing defenses. So we will keep kind of going forward with this game. The Browns they're on Monday night. It's the only game on the docket on ESPN. All eyes on it. If people have any sort of fantasy players, because playoffs I'm sure have started in a bunch of leagues, everybody will be watching this game. So it's much more of an emphasis on this game. And we do want to take the time right now to welcome in three-time Super Bowl champion and ESPN Cleveland personality, co-host of The Next Level, Monday to Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. with our buddy Emmett Golden and Matt Fontana on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Jerod Cherry. Jerod, how you doing tonight? Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Oh, we're doing great. Doing great.
Thanks, Jerod.
I love those sound bites all the time. Jerod, did you know that Paulus thinks he can make the Olympics in breakdancing in 2024 when it goes to Paris, France?
You're damn right. Thank you, Jerod. Yeah, absolutely. If anyone has a video, I'm sure my sister has a video somewhere of her, my sister's wedding, my other sister's wedding. Drinks were flowing. I was on the dance floor. Let's just put down, I could have had a gold medal that night for sure. No doubt.
A few drinks in you, I'm sure.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
Just a couple of drinks.
A couple drinks?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to see some proof of that sometime.
We might need to.
But Jerod, we do thank you for joining us here tonight to preview this Browns game. We kind of started the show just overarching theme of the game going into tomorrow night. What level of importance do you put on this game for the Browns to go out there and with another prove-it type scenario against another quality opponent tomorrow night?
play quality football back-to-back weeks.
Jerod here for us. Just want to ask you, where are you at with Baker Mayfield? We all know that last week was like a career-defining game for him. This week, obviously, the next week is always the most important week there for us. So where are you at with Baker Mayfield right now? Do you think that he's anywhere near, like closer to the franchise label that everyone wants to deem for him? Right.
And speaking on Baker, I mean, I know last week, Jerod, during the pregame stuff, you kind of had predictions and almost kind of called how Baker was going to play last week.
Jerod, you damn near nailed that prediction. I think Ken Carmen said that was going to be over 300 yards. You're like, oh yeah, absolutely. No, that was an easy one there for you.
So
sometimes, man, things come to your head, man. And you accurate predictions. But I'm pretty sure you guys can rewind some stuff and be like, that dude wasn't even close. But we'll take the credit where it's due for this one.
Well,
really?
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Jerod.
I was just saying what it was I just thought about it. He said, okay, everyone's talking about run this, run that, run this, run that. And there was a part of me that says, Kevin Stefanski, though we got away from it, and we talk so much about the running game being the strength of this football team, we understand that and we know that. But there's still a part where the quarterback's maturation and his
Jerod, they had 10 in the box like 90% of the game. I mean, they had everyone in the box, and the only reason, well, not the only reason, it was a great pass as well, but the play action fake to Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, they had 10 people within 5 yards of that line of scrimmage, and all he had to do was just make the throw.
He's watching Baker Mayfield. He could care less about Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Right.
And so they give that fake like they're going to do it, and it's an out and up route is what it's called. And so scouting report from the Tennessee Titans probably said the following thing. Baker Mayfield stares down his receiver, and he does not go to his second or third option. So whatever he pumps, fakes, and goes with, he's going to go there. And think about that other touchdown where he looked to safety, moved him to the right, and then came back left to Jarvis. That's playing quarterback at a high level. That's why I said Baker Mayfield's at the doorstep on the previous question you guys asked me about how I feel about Baker, because that's things Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers does. So if you start playing like those guys, and what do they have something in common for doing? Playing in Super Bowl.
Right. Playing at a high level. Yeah.
Well, and so kind of let you ride that wave of predictions there, Jerod. And Baker riding this confidence, we know how well coached the Baltimore Ravens are and how good they have been as an organization. So they're going to see what Baker was able to do last week and have a game plan for that, as well as the rushing attack for the Browns. So what kind of stat line or game does Baker need to have tomorrow to equal success and a win for the Browns tomorrow night?
Baker doesn't need to do what he did against the Titans to win tomorrow. I don't believe that, because I don't see the offense for the Ravens being as dynamic as the offense for the Titans is. So it can go back to that balance of, well, actually not the balance, the imbalance of run versus pass, because I simply don't think as long as they can keep Lamar Jackson and that running game under control and not let Lamar Jackson pass on him like he did week one, I don't think it needs to be a high-scoring game, that he could be more of a quote-unquote game manager as opposed to leading the way, because I think what you just described as a defensive player, you are in a bind. Okay, will they run or will they pass? Because now I know they can do both. So what is that going to do? That's going to put the defense in a situation where they're going to have to play more with 5- and 6-man fronts and drop people in the zones. And the NFL has been set up for quarterbacks to make a killing with intermediate routes. That's routes from anywhere 10 to 15 yards in zone coverage. So that's where Baker Mayfield will come in, and that's where he needs to be accurate. That's where he needs to dominate. And if he does that, Baker Mayfield, like I said, he was at the doorstep. He can ring the doorbell.
God, we would love that, obviously.
I'll let him in if he can ring the doorbell.
Absolutely. That's right. Obviously, outside of our offense, Baker and everyone, Nick Chubb and everyone like that, on the outside of the field is Lamar Jackson. Last year's MVP there for us. Outside of Lamar, though, who should the Browns defense be keying in on and focusing in on tomorrow's game?
Oh, you got to pay attention to their running backs. I mean, that trio of backs is powerful. I mean, they put up some serious yards last week. You can't sleep on those guys. They do a great job of rushing. I mean, Dobbins, you got to respect what he's done as a rookie and how he's just dominating. And then when you think about the other two guys in Ingram, and I want to say Edwards.
Yeah, Gus Edwards.
Mm-hmm. They are just, again, they all have a different skill set that they bring to the table. But one thing that they have in common is that they have production and that they do a great job of picking up and amassing yards. And when you throw Lamar Jackson into the mix with that, there you have it. So really, you have to, if you're Joe Moore, defense coordinator for the Browns, you're saying first and foremost, we have to stop the run. We have to do that. Because if you don't do that, that opens up everything that they want to do on offense. And if they can run at you and bully you, they're going to do that.
We're joined by Jerod Cherry, of course, of ESPN Cleveland, the next level, 3 to 6 Monday through Friday, and of course, 3-time Super Bowl champ with the New England Patriots. And Jerod, from your defensive expertise playing the safety position and against a team that is going to run the ball and come at you from many different angles, is Joe Woods' best scheme going to be to keep it simple or to try to change up looks on Lamar and that offensive line on where they're bringing the defensive front? We know that they had 5 defensive linemen last week against the Titans. Is that going to be the recipe for success this week as well?
Why not? You know how you guys remember the Wildcat?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It came out, and people are like, there ain't no way that's going to work the next week. And guess what? It worked the next week. Ain't no way it's going to work the next week. And it worked.
I think the Dolphins ran that whole offense for like an entire year.
It took about a year to 2 years for teams to finally shut it down. Mm-hmm. Now, it's still a concept. It's not an offense now. It's a concept. As far as you might throw a wrinkle into your offensive scheming with that play, and it still works to this very day. But my point is that scheme that Joe Woods came up with to put 5 linemen out there, it worked. Until it doesn't work, keep doing it. Buddy Ryan, back in the day, I don't even know if you guys were born then, had this thing called a 46 defense, in which he put a bunch of men on the line to shut down the run, and no one for a whole entire season knew what to do with it. The Bears ended up winning a Super Bowl. Now, granted, if you go back and look at the roster on that team,
it wasn't bad.
Here's my Mike Dick a dig, where you should have won multiple Super Bowls with that roster, but hey, when you don't have the right head coach, things happen. But with that being said, the whole point is have something different, man. And people haven't figured out how to stop it yet until they figure out how to stop it. And I'm sorry, Mike Dick. I said I'm not going to make fun of you no more, and I still do it. I'm sorry.
I was going to say we had to get at least one Mike Dick to dig on here.
I already knew coming. Like as soon as when I was driving here, Jerod, I knew that just talking to you when I was interning over there, like I knew we were going to get at least one. So I was planning on that. No need to worry about that here.
But seriously, guys, until they figure out how to stop it or it's not effective for them, then you start running that defense. But again, it stopped Derrick Henry. Think about that.
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry is the equivalent of the 3 running backs for the Ravens, and Edwards and Dobbins and Ingram. So until, again, you need to run more of a pass-oriented defense, I would run it again. I'll plop that thing out there until they run through it.
Right. Jerod, I'm going to get you out of here. Well, for me, and then Kevin has one more question here for you. But bold prediction for the Browns. Obviously, this team, the NFL stands not for long. So we need to capitalize as quickly as possible especially with our quarterback making not a whole lot of money going forward. But I do want to know, I really do think that the Browns have the head coach and quarterback now to really go forward. But do you think that the Browns will win a Super Bowl with Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield on the same roster?
The way things are looking, I'm going to really shock you guys. If they keep playing the way they're playing right now and improving each week, and here's something crazy, they still haven't played their highest level football yet. And when you get in the month of December, that's where you want to start trending towards it. And they're certainly doing that. So when you get into the playoffs, it's like you just click and everything goes off. So if everything goes off for Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski, everything slows down for him like he's Neo in the Matrix as well. You're not just talking about when will they. You can honestly talk about it this season if they keep going the way in which they're going, which sounds crazy, but it's possible. And I'm not saying that because I work for the Browns. I'm just telling you what I know from experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that is awesome.
And seeing how Kevin Stefanski has really turned things around for this team, Jerod, and kind of from your experience in your playing days, I'm sure seeing coaches that were able to connect with players, not able to connect with players. I know Paulus hates when I bring out the Coach Kev mantra because being a coach myself, I try to get into the coaching mindset instead of the fan mindset like he does. But what have you seen, whether watching film, watching this team closely on Sundays or on game days, that the little things that people may miss during the game that you have seen that shows how Kevin Stefanski is truly changing the culture here in Cleveland, Ohio?
Well, there's a couple things I see. One, this morning, we do the pregame Browns TV show, and we will have guys mic'd up for this, right? We have a segment called Mic'd Up. Every week, I'm saying to myself, why are we micing guys up? No one's saying anything. Well, that right there, though, is something I pick up on because that means guys aren't unnecessarily jawing with guys back and forth with false bravado. They're out there doing their job, and that's the sign of a disciplined football team. Now, when I was with the Patriots, we didn't talk that much trash. We just went out there and we hit you in the mouth and we beat you and called it a day and went about our business. Now, every now and then, you'll get caught up in that, and I'm not saying guys are being out on a mute button completely, but you see that guys they're letting their play do the talking for them as opposed to their mouthpieces. And then you also look at the fact that they're not penalized as much. But here's how I know what's going on. So I had a chance to interview Kendall Lamb, who caught the touchdown pass, a lineman for Baker last week. So I asked him, because, a lot of times players will give you what I call coach speak or player talk, where they just give you general answers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I can kind of get around that because I've been a former player. I'm like, okay, let me ask you something that's not offensive, but at the same time, or gives out information, but gives insight.
Right.
So I set it up for him by saying, here's my observation. It seems to me that Kevin Stefanski is consistent in who he is on a day-to-day basis, and with that, you know what to expect from him as a player. Is that true, and is that a refreshing approach? And he jumped all over it. And all that told me is that Kevin Stefanski, with all due respect to Freddie Kitchens, is the polar opposite of Freddie Kitchens, and is what this football team needed.
Thank God. We on this show we call him a bumbling Freddie Kitchens. Because every time that he's out there, he was just stumbling over himself every single time.
No doubt.
Yeah, he was. Bumbling Freddie Kitchens is the only way we can really describe that. Jerod Cherry of ESPN Cleveland, 3-time Super Bowl champ, is our guest. And Jerod, we really appreciate you taking some time out of your Sunday night to join us. I just got to know, before we let you go, outside of Browns talk, when are we getting more Cereal Wars on YouTube? That's been my main question this whole time, Jerod, because I'm a big cereal guy. I wanted that. I heard you talking about that on air all the time, talking about it. We got to get more Cereal Wars. When is Cereal Wars coming back, man?
Well, my sidekick and also my son, Kid Gluten Free, said I don't pay him enough, so I don't know.
Oh, I know. I'm starting to learn all about the gluten-free lifestyle as well, as I've had to go gluten-free and dairy-free. But one of those things that I've found is a good snack when you're gluten-free. A lot of good cereals out there.
You are lucky, because when I got into the whole gluten-free world with my kids about a decade ago, the pizza literally tastes like cardboard.
Oh, it still does.
I got good. I know the brands now. I know Udi's is the best place to go to get. Well, actually, Sonoma is the best pizza. You can find that at any store. Sonoma is the best pizza to get.
Okay.
And as far as bread is concerned, go to Trader Joe's. They have a hot dog bun, and they have breads that taste actually like real bread.
There you go.
You just need to get with me, and I can give you a list what the cookies are like, which ones to get with that. I have it on lock.
Hit me up, Jerod. I mean, it's been a long time since we talked, man. Hit me up because I need some. I'm sure, like, I'm writing down notes. I'm sure my girlfriend watching right now is writing all this stuff down because she is not dairy or gluten free, and she is struggling to figure out what kind of meals we can prepare together because we have not found any of those things.
Trying to adjust.
But Sonoma,
And if you like pancakes,
yes, I
I'm
do.
gonna say this name wrong. I believe it's Crusties or Crustes. I don't know how the hell to say it.
Yes, yeah.
Their pancake batter is fire. It tastes better than real pancake batter.
There we go.
Oh, they make really good muffins, so I'm gonna have to find.
Damn, pancakes sound good now.
I know. I'm a big breakfast food guy too. But Jerod, appreciate that. Hit me up with any of those suggestions
thank
you
you,
got.
Jerod.
I'll reach out to you. But appreciate you coming on with us, Jerod. And of course, you guys can all follow him at Jerod Cherry 3 on Twitter, and he'll be on Browns pregame on the University Hospitals Radio Network tomorrow for all of that and postgame as
My
well.
bad, guys. I forgot to turn my camera on.
No, you're good. There he is.
There we
he
go.
is.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
That was awesome. That was great. Fantastic. Hey, Jerod, thank you so much, man. That was
All right,
awesome.
man. Take care, guys.
Have a
Take
good
care,
one.
man. Oh,
That was great.
that was Jerod Cherry, 3-time Super Bowl champ with the New England Patriots, and co-host of Next Level, ESPN Cleveland.
That's going to get cut right there. That's getting cut up right there. That was fantastic.
We love that dude so much.
Oh,
So-
Gerod's the best. Honestly, like one of the nicest dudes. If you ever meet Jerod Cherry, seriously, you're gonna walk away going, "Damn, he is like the nicest guy of all time." He really is.
and we didn't want to take up too much time because we know he's got his kids and everything like
Hey,
that. And he's got to prepare. He's still
got
preparing.
life.
He's got life, and he's still preparing for to cover the Browns and everything and do all his responsibilities tomorrow.
Right.
But I'm not sure if you're watching, Jerod, but I did want to just mention a special thank you to you. All those conversations we had in pre-show meetings, kind of learning how to prep for a show, what kind of topics are good, where to leave things off at, all of the insight from your experience in the business now that you helped me with, and I'm sure have helped Paulus with in the office, even to today. Can't thank you enough for that. Such a great guy. Everybody go check him out because they will talk sports, they will talk Browns, but they will talk everything on the next level. And Jerod is one of the best going, along with our buddy Emmett Golden. Two of the best going, and a fun show.
The Next Level is the best.
Then
It really is.
It really is. And can't forget about Fontana either.
Nope, for sure,
producing it.
yeah.
And of course, I know you work with him a lot too.
Doing
So
ECT, yep.
can't thank those guys enough for all they've done and continue to do to help us as we continue to work our way into the industry. I mean, just thoughts. I mean,
Honestly,
that's the kind of insight that you're looking for. A former player who can really break it down and telling you exactly what the Browns need to do tomorrow night to have success from where they were
Right.
to where they need to be by the end of tomorrow night's game.
Yeah, I mean, a ton to break down. I mean, he's even saying, he's agreeing with me, and like I understand where you're at. Like,
Yes.
like let's be calm here,
Yes.
But I mean, he's absolutely right. I mean, this team can go all the way if you get the right amount of ingredients going forward. Like a dash of Nick Chubb here, a sack from Miles there. Like a lot of things add up. But in order to get to that, just to get to the Super Bowl, to get to the playoffs, and then let alone get to the Super Bowl, we've never been there before.
Right.
But you're asking a guy that's not only been there 3 times, but won it all 3 times as well. I think he knows what he's talking about, So I just think I'm 100% with him. This Browns team can win it all, but you have to be like a lot of things have to break our way. I mean, we just saw the Dolphins take the Chiefs. I mean, down to the wire, really. And that's something that I'm really expecting, us, if we ever get the opportunity to do that. I think Baker's way better than Tua, like no doubt. Right. So as long as Baker doesn't turn the ball over like Tua was doing all day today, I think with this running attack, the sky's the limit. It really is.
It is, and just to clarify, because I know we had a little bit of the conversation last week, and we talked to Jerod about it just a few moments ago about the Super Bowl percentage. The percentage, and you had found, I think it was what, 25% or something like that.
It jumped down to like 37 or 25%.
Okay.
Like a couple of numbers.
Right. To win the Super Bowl, the Browns, but they're in that conversation, and it's. I know you
Right.
posted the GIF, but anytime anybody tells me,
To win the Super Bowl?
to win the Super Bowl, yeah. Like
I thought we were talking about the Ravens. Like if
No.
they lose, okay,
No.
If the Browns win, I think they're up to like 2% to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Something
it's like
much smaller.
smaller,
Yeah,
but
way smaller. But
You
when has that ever happened?
Right, and you saw it. They entered the graph, so they had, they're in the realm of having a chance.
Yeah.
And I know you posted the GIF about it, but anytime I hear any of my teams have a chance, the only scene, the only image that pops in my head is, of course, Dumb and Dumber. When you're saying,
Of course.
when they're saying, oh, so you're telling me there's a chance? You got it's 1 in a million. So you're telling me there's a chance,
Right.
Like that's the only scene that pops in my head. But like I had said to pump the brakes on Super Bowl last week, and the only reason I'm saying that is another team that has an organization that hasn't seen a lot of success, the Buffalo Bills, who have a chance to beat the Steelers tonight and put a statement win out there as well.
That should be a great game, by the way.
Should be a great game. And my buddy Bo at work, who is a big Buffalo Bills fan, like we're having good conversation because it's like, man, the Browns and Bills are good and we're having this great year.
What is going on?
Yeah, but something that a lot of young quarterbacks say, and I know Josh Allen has said this, when they lost in the playoffs, that did more for him because he's looking like he can be, like he is that guy.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys one of those 32 that you want to have around for a long time in your organization and has worked his ass off to get there. He said that did a lot for him to motivate him to get to that next level. So we've seen in the past how losing can have that impact on players that really care about the game and want to get there. But you've also seen circumstances where you do get that full dream run. So because when you get to the playoffs, anything is possible.
Sure.
The reason why Coach Stefanski and this 1-0 each week mentality works, connects with these players, and it's because of the way he presents it. And these players are buying into the fact that can't worry about what is 4 weeks in the future. We have to worry about what's right in front of us right now. And once you get in, 1 week to 1 week, you always have a chance in the playoffs. You just can't get your mind ahead. We can as fans, for sure.
Right.
For sure.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like as a fan, like absolutely, I can think Super Bowl,
Right.
all day. But as the players and as the coaches, they have the exact right mindset. And I've said this from the start. Like take it week by week. If you're a player and a coach, take it week by week. As a fan that has never seen this sort of success
Right.
before from my favorite team, it blows my mind. And that's why I'm like so amped up about this Browns team and how well they've done. And once again, this is the 3-month day from the very first game of the year to 3 months. We are right now going up against the Ravens tomorrow night. And I feel I felt good going into the season, and I thought that if we went back and looked at what we did or what we talked about before that opening game, like I felt good going into it. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna smack them again. Like I truly 1,000% believe that not only is this going to be a very tough game, but like we have the right people finally in place. We've gone through 12 games so far. We know what we have on this team and what it takes to win in this league. And it's just so satisfying to know that Kevin Stefanski, to me, I believe, and I think you're on the level now that he's that guy. He's the guy.
He is that guy, and I have been remiss not to say, I was someone that may have not been in favor of it originally, and
Sure.
I will always be the first one to come out and say when I'm wrong. People don't need to call me out. You can. I'm not saying you don't have the ability
Don't do it.
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm
Right.
just saying that I will be among the first to say when I am wrong.
100%.
And I can say with more confidence that I was wrong. I remember saying we're always going to give everyone a chance to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
It is the unfortunate history that we have had to deal with that has jaded our mindset and not opened us up to new and unique chances, opportunities, possibilities for great football to be played in this town. We have that opportunity right now. We have that opportunity tomorrow night. And I wish there was a camera on me tomorrow night, because those of you like Paulus that hate Coach Kev, you're not getting Coach Kev in the stands tomorrow night.
Fan Kev.
You're getting fan Kev that only, and especially in quarantine, that only a select few of my loved ones have had to deal with. And that probably even my mother would say have had to deal with my entire life and has always yelled at me about. You're going to get that guy that Paulus always brings to our show.
Right.
You're getting that Kevin tomorrow night at First Energy Stadium.
We're gonna need to strap a GoPro on you. Yeah, like
I have them.
You have
See, look at that. You know, we're gonna have to strap you up with one. No, I can't wait for tomorrow. And once again, going back to the coaching situation, not knowing if it was Kevin Stefanski or not. I remember at the beginning of the year, like whenever we were about to hire a coach, I really thought it was going to be Robert Salah. Now I think he's a shoo-in to get that Detroit job because he's from Detroit and everything like that. He's a fantastic coach no matter what. I wasn't 100% about Kevin Stefanski until honestly, until the beginning of the year, whenever we saw him consistently running the ball with Nick Chubb and even going into that, I believe it was like the Dallas game where I was like, this is the dude. And like, I'm easily, swayed into moves like that. But like knowing what he did against the Cowboys, and at that time, the Cowboys offense was unbelievable. And the fact that we were putting points up and, holding them back, it was fantastic. But like right around that Cowboys win was whenever I was like, this is the dude right there. But I mean, to wrap it up for me, like I really do believe with everything that Jerod said, this team can realistically go all the way if everything goes the right way.
Prediction tomorrow night.
Ooh.
We haven't heard from Predictor Paulus in a long time.
We haven't. On opening drive this morning, I said that they were going to win 24-20 is what I said. Yeah. I think that we're going to have a bend but don't break defense. Justin Tucker's going to have a couple of field goals, here or there. They're probably going to get 2 touchdowns, a couple of field goals, 20 points there. I think Baker, Chubb, and Hunt all get into the end zone. Baker throwing the ball to I'm going to say probably Harrison Bryant, because Hooper's out. He's officially questionable, but more likely he's going to be out. So I think I'm going to go with Harrison Bryant getting a touchdown, and then a Cody Parkey field goal, put it up to 24 points. So
I hope to see a touchdown to our boy Jarvis, because
I mean back-to-back weeks though. I mean it's tough to do 3 in a row.
I know.
I'd love it.
Tough to do 3 in a
You
row.
gonna be wearing Bless 'em?
Well, I got an early Christmas present.
Ooh.
Thank you, Jana, very much. I now own a Jarvis Landry brown and orange, like brown with the white and orange stripe jersey. Like they'll be wearing tomorrow night with the orange pants.
Yep.
I now own one of those jerseys, so that
jersey's fly. If I ever get a jersey again, and I have a Jim Brown jersey, that's the only jersey I have. If I ever get another jersey, it's either going to be Blessum or like 3 jerseys: Blessum, Nick Chubb, and Myles Garrett in that order.
Yeah, I mean, I have the new rendition of the color rush that they did this year without the stripes on it. I have that official Baker Mayfield jersey because when they first brought him out, of course, they were giving all the proceeds to frontline workers and first responders. So I wanted to contribute to that. I wanted one of those jerseys, but I went for it. I kind of splurged on the money because it was going to such a great cause, and I know so many and have people in my family and that are close to me fighting this disease as well, and we can't thank you enough. We can't send out our prayers enough to you on those front lines, but had to get one of those. But tomorrow night, I'm gonna be blessing them up way up in the nosebleeds, but you won't even see it because I will have double, maybe triple mask. I mean, I'm gonna be covered head to toe. I was going to say
mask up, layer up. I mean, it's going to be a cold night tomorrow.
It's going to be cold. So I've already got all the layers set aside for tomorrow night.
Wait, real quick question. Yeah. Okay. Now, you've gone to a bunch of games. You've never tailgated, though, correct?
I've never tailgated.
Okay.
I'm not an adult beverage connoisseur.
What is and like I want to know
Yeah.
your go-to because there's only one correct answer to me.
Okay.
What's the one thing that you have to double layer up?
It's like the upper half of the body.
Really? I
Yeah.
go socks. If
Yeah.
your feet get cold,
Oh.
you are done. You are done.
Feet or hands?
Feet
And hands, actually.
Yeah. I'm okay with like wearing one glove, like gloves. I'm okay with one pair. You double up on socks. Tailgating, it is a absolute must because if you're out there sub 30 degrees, snow on the ground, possibly, freezing rain, whatever, like the go-to move is double socks. So like, just keep that in mind.
I know.
It's going to be cold.
Family last year finally, like, they got me a really good pair of winter socks, though.
Okay.
Like finally have a
The
pair.
wool, yeah.
Because I used to be doing like double, triple, quadruple layer. I had the soccer socks, so you could pull them all the way up over the knees, almost like half a tight or something like that. Like I used to when I was playing in my playing days. Yeah, that nice little stocking. Those things are so thin, the cold's just going right through all 4 layers of regular dry fit. Whatever Adidas and Under Armour use for theirs as well.
Yeah.
Peter, what is it for you? What do you got, a double or triple layer?
Oh, I have to agree with Nick. I do socks.
Yep.
But I mean,
Yeah.
when we were doing some of those games for the CVC.
Oh, yeah.
When it was getting cold. I mean,
Well, someone wore shorts.
Well, so not me.
When you got as much blubber as me, I think you'll survive.
But
Don't worry, guys. I got triple socks on, but I'm wearing my
Hey,
shorts, but I got triple socks
You know
on my
what?
feet.
Like
long
it's-
underwear but like double socks, and I'll wear the regular socks, and then I got the big wool.
Oh yeah.
like, long socks, and yeah, you got to keep those feet warm. 'Cause
The feet that's the killer.
Yeah.
Once your feet get cold, you're done. You're done.
They like stiffen up on you too. Like you can't
It's
move
the
your
worst.
toes. And I got the.
And if you're walking from like the Muni lot, like where we would always park, in the Muni lot, if you're
Yeah.
walking from the Muni lot there, I mean, it's a 10-minute walk anyways, and you're behind the sea of zombies that are drunk and like you're just trying to get there.
Yeah.
But it is the coldest walk ever.
Yeah, I got the extra socks. I got the baklavas, I think as they call it, like the head, like the thing that goes over the head. Isn't
the
it
balaclava.
Balaclava, sorry.
I was going to say babushka.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Baklava is very good.
No,
Yeah,
baklava
that's
is
dessert.
excellent.
I don't know what it's.
I
I
was-
can't.
I was like,
I got the full.
You got the whole gear
I
going.
got the
Yeah.
full gear going tomorrow
Okay.
night. So we'll be ready to go, and the energy will be pumping.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but the energy will be pumping in that stadium. Just real quick, because I know it's the news has been long talked about,
Sure.
and still got about 6. We actually have 6 days, a little less than that, because they're playing at noon instead of 8:00 this year. But Big Ten championship, Big Ten lifts the rule for the 6 games that you have to play. So Ohio State gets in as the winner of the East, Northwestern the winner of the West. They will face off in the Big Ten championship game. A lot of debate going on if Ohio State wins and goes to 6-0, with other teams playing so many more games, maybe being undefeated, or one-loss SEC team that isn't even in their championship game. Should the Buckeyes be in? Should the other team be in? Just real quick, I mean, just as an update, where do you stand? Do Buckeyes win, and do they get into the college football playoff?
After Florida lost for throwing a shoe.
Who throws a shoe?
I love that. They were playing that all morning, and they kept doing the Austin
Yes,
Powers.
yes.
Who throws a shoe? Really? Who throws a shoe? Yeah, no.
I'm not going to try that accent, though.
Right. No, it was a bad accent anyway. So, but yeah, I want to be thankful for a couple of things. I'll be thankful for three things, really 2 people. Okay. The Florida guy for throwing the shoe. Okay. Because like that just ended the conversation right then and there. As soon as they lost to LSU, you're not going to be able to get Florida in there.
Right.
The only other team that could possibly get in, like it would probably be Texas A&M, but they're not even going to be able to be playing in the SEC championship game.
Right.
So it's a moot point.
Is it
Like,
Florida and Alabama, right?
it's going to be Florida and Alabama.
Yeah.
It's already set. So like it's not even a question. So I am happy about that. Even if Florida does somehow beat Bama, and I don't think that that's possible. I do think that it's going to be Bama who's not going to win the SEC, and that's fine because they're the top 4 teams. It'll be Bama, Notre Dame, LSU, and I truly do believe Ohio State's going to win. The other 2 things or people that I'm happy for is honestly the Big Ten, because they came to their senses, and they allowed Ohio State to be in, and they disregarded that stupid 6-game rule. The fact that you even put that on there, I understand what they were trying for.
Right.
They were trying to legitimize, like, hey, if we play 6 games, like, that should be good enough. When realistically, like, this year has been screwed up from the start. So you didn't need to put that in there. I'm glad that they disregarded it. And yeah, does it look like, Ohio State, gets preferential treatment? Yeah, because they do. Like, just get over it. Like, we bring in money, so yeah, you're fine.
Sorry, we're good. I mean,
I'm sorry that we're 5-0 and we beat everyone by like 40, whatever. But secondly, once again, Big Ten, thank you for putting this game not at the 9 o'clock hour, like how it has been in the past, 7 o'clock or whatever. They made this a noon game. That means that I'm going to get out at a reasonable time, for Saturday there for me. So as soon as they kick the crap out of Northwestern, and I'm looking at the predictor right here for it, 90%. For Ohio State.
Where's the line right now?
The line is, last I checked, it was, God, where was it? It was like 20 and a half points. So 20 and a half points there for
Wow.
in a Big Ten championship game. The over-under is 58 and a half. I'm going over.
Yeah.
Because I really do think that, Ryan Day coming back is going to put up at least 50 himself. And I do think that the defense is going to give up a little bit there for him. So I think that it easy over 60 there for it. So if any of you bettors out there want to bet on it, I guarantee you, easy money right there. So I would definitely go with that. But I am thankful for the Big Ten twice, actually, which I've never done before. And then obviously Florida for throwing the shoe. So
2020 was bad enough. You could do the traditional meme with the Big Ten. 2020 was bad enough. Big Ten said, "Hold my beer."
Right, but they corrected themselves.
Yes, they did.
Let's give them a hand for that.
Yes, you gotta. Sometimes you gotta give credit where credit is due.
Right.
Sometimes you say 23 and you move on. Peter, Buckeyes win this game, and do they get in the college football playoff? Like, do you think the committee will still take them, or will they listen to all this conversation, this back and forth, with some of the narrative pushing more towards them not being in?
Well, see, that's the problem because of that. I'm glad the Big Ten got rid of the 6-game rule because that was
Right.
that was shooting themselves in the foot. Because I mean,
What they've been doing all year.
Well, you put Indiana in that. Even if Indiana beat the crap out of Northwestern,
Sure.
that's it. Big Ten plays over
Right.
because Indiana's not going to jump into the top 4. So it made sense for them to do that. I do worry. I think Ohio State's going to cover.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was a little surprised that it's 20 points. And
Sure.
but it makes sense.
I mean, 3 touchdowns. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, like, Justin Fields hasn't played in 2 weeks, and Ryan Day hasn't coached in almost a month. He's pissed off.
Right. And, the fact that he didn't get to, bash the crap out of that team up north, is he going to take that out on Northwestern?
He
It's
probably
very possible.
He
Sorry,
probably will.
Northwestern.
Yeah. So, I
Sorry,
mean,
Wildcats.
I'm just I'm just worried about them deciding that the 6 wins isn't
not
enough.
Yeah.
But what other team? Like I said, Florida's done. Florida has 2
we've-
losses.
But
I mean,
we've gotten screwed before.
we have, but
Yeah.
I think we've gotten screwed whenever we've had a loss.
Yes.
It makes
true.
more sense if we lose, or if it's
I mean, if you lose, you're out.
if you're 100%, and you don't deserve to get in
No.
if you lose to
And
Northwestern.
the games,
I'm throwing that out
games
there.
that were canceled because of COVID, did anyone have any inkling in their mind that the Buckeyes were going to lose?
Well,
any of
and
those
that's
games?
the thing. Those 3 games, you're looking at Maryland, Illinois, and Michigan. Honestly, if you combine all those scores, Ohio State was probably scheduled to beat them by 100 combined.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it matter? So 3 extra games that all you did was stat pad. There was no. I don't want to say that there was 0 opportunity for them to fail, because we've
Right.
seen them go into Maryland and almost lose, go to,
Right.
what was it, double overtime a couple years
Yeah.
back. We've seen some weird, screwy things, but it's not like I don't know. Like, I just don't see this team losing to an easy opponent. The closest game that we had all year was to Indiana, and Indiana's quarterback looked like the second coming of Brett Favre. I mean, that guy was unbelievable. Penix Jr.
Yep.
He was unbelievable that game. And then what happens then? The very next game, he gets injured,
Prayers
tears
up
his
to him.
ACL. Prayers to him.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just asking the Buckeyes to. I am fearful, like Peter, that the college football committee will overthink things because it's a group of people that can do that. All I'm going to say is I'm going to ask you, Ohio State Buckeye football players, please just wrap up the game, solidify the game by like midway through the third quarter. I got some Christmas activities to attend to out of town on Saturday. And I really want to just enjoy those. I don't want to have to care that I'm leaving watching the game early, like in the middle of the third quarter or at halftime, because you've already pretty much kicked the crap out of Northwestern, and you're just going to just keep doing it in the second half where I'm not missing anything. So if you could do that little gift to me, that would be great. I mean, I know I kind of called you out a little bit. I try to bring Coach Kev to you as well. I'm sorry. Just do me a little favor. Just, wrap that one up because I'm a big Christmas guy. I got more important things to do on Saturday than watch the same thing over and over again of you kicking the crap out of the Wildcats. So, just Justin Fields, just take care of that for me, okay? All right. So wrapping things up here tonight, did have a couple people kind of chiming in on Twitter. Actually, our fan of the show and hosts his own podcast. I will be joining that in about a week and a half. Illegal Ham to the Face. Jerod, the host, Jerod, he's chiming in that it is feet then hands in that order that he would cover up. And you got to put the hot hands in both the boots and the gloves to try to
that's true
keep those warm. So
good
that's
call.
A good tip for everybody maybe going to the game tomorrow night. Get those hot hands or whatever brand you may have going. Now, I know we're at time. Usually we try to go about an hour. I'm sorry. I cannot leave this show. Leave these airwaves.
Something happened yesterday?
Something happened in Columbus. Speaking of people, teams in Columbus, there was supposed to be a
great segue.
There was supposed to be a big game yesterday. I know Fox is upset because they were going to do the Fox Big Noon kickoff with their pregame show, and then of course, their host Rob Stone was going to transition over to Mafre Stadium down there outside the fairgrounds in Columbus, Ohio, and covered the MLS Cup with the Columbus Crew taking on the Seattle Sounders. And I'm not going to talk trash to my sister, who is a big Sounders fan. I have an affinity for them in the Western Conference as a big soccer guy that I am. But glory to Columbus, the Haslams taking on ownership. They saved the Crew, and I know that they said this on the broadcast last night. The Crew were saved, so now it's time to savor the Crew. Celebrate the Crew. Right. We are MLS Cup champions of 2020. Columbus, Columbus, Columbus. I feel good tonight, guys.
We can tell.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Anybody else watch the game?
Nope.
Okay. All right.
I did see on Twitter that they won 3-0, correct?
3-0. Yep.
3-0 or mil?
Nil.
Nil.
NIL. NIL.
NIL. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and gonna get a little.
They won by 3 million. How about that?
The Columbus teams can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's what 3-0 feels like in soccer.
No, congrats. And once again, congrats to Jimmy Haslam, Jimmy and D. I mean, their first of many football titles, hopefully.
Yes.
So that is what I'm hoping for. Obviously, once again, I don't know a damn thing about soccer. I played soccer whenever I was younger. Like a goalie. I was the fat kid, the fat slow kid. So they put me at goalie. It wasn't terrible, but congrats to them. I know how much soccer means to you. So, obviously, and you walk in with this shirt on, with the jersey on. We absolutely have to talk about it.
The championship gear is coming. The championship gear is already on its way.
Without a doubt. Yeah, for sure. No, but, congrats to you. Congrats to all of the Columbus Crew fans out there. And once again, Jimmy and D, thank you for saving them, and congrats on the title.
Yeah, and classy move by D. Haslam last night to just allow Captain Jonathan Mensah to lift the cup. She didn't even touch it. They haven't won anything. Things are starting to turn around for them. Could have taken a moment in the sun, and rightfully so, last night to be the first one to lift a cup, or at least pick it up and hand it to the captain, as it is tradition in soccer. When you get the cup, the owner or majority owner of the team hands it off to the captain. The captain runs up on the stage, and you got like the and you lift the cup up, and it's a big celebration. The confetti flies as it did last night, but classy move to just allow Mensa to just take it to the team. And head coach Caleb Porter, who coached at Akron, I went to several Akron games when he was there, won the national championship against Louisville, against someone I played with, Kenny Walker, who is a heck of a player, was an MLS player himself, and then went on to Portland to take on the MLS job out there with the Timbers, won a MLS Cup there, wins his second back here in Ohio, where soccer means a lot to him. The development of soccer means a lot to him. But also I want to congratulate the Sounders on a great season too, because they have a great ownership group. They have a lot of tremendous players, some that are going to play for the U.S. men's national team, some that are going to probably play the men's national team is going to play against in CONCACAF to try to qualify for the World Cup. A lot of world-class players, and that's a credit to MLS, who would turn 25 with this season. It's the 25th anniversary of an American professional soccer league here in the United States. And I know that their commissioner was on last night, Don Garber, who has done a tremendous job. They are still expanding. They're about to be up to 27, 28 teams in a couple of years. And you see the old guard in Columbus, who has been there from the beginning, since 1996. And Seattle, who was an expansion team during this era, who their fan base really took them on there in Seattle. They fill up. Now, I don't know that they use the whole stadium, but they play in the Seahawks Stadium. They don't have a soccer-specific stadium there yet in Seattle. They fill that place up, and it is loud. The Seahawks talk about the 12th man. Seattle fans bring that to Sounders games too. And I've seen the videos my sister posts when she goes to games, the parade of fans into the game, like the tailgate for that. It looks like American football, but how soccer fans, football fans do it. And that is, to me, that warms my heart as a soccer fan and someone that wants soccer to take off here in the United States. I know why it hasn't, and trust me, if you watch the game as an average fan and you're wondering why are guys going down so easy, flopping on the ground, trust me, us real soccer fans hate that too. We do. If you are a soccer coach, you try not to coach that to your kids. There may be some that do, or kids are just watching that and it's a bad influence from the top line players to promote that to younger players, and they bring that into their playing style, and it just continues and continues and continues. We hate those things too. The things that you don't like about soccer and why you won't take it on, there are elements of that real soccer fans hate too and hope to help change. But a good sign for me that soccer will take off in America is expansion teams like Seattle, or even this year with Nashville, while they couldn't have fans, the way the city of Nashville really took on that team and had pride in that team, and they made the playoffs as an expansion team. Don't see that very often in a first year. That is what gives me a lot of hope for that sport here in the United States. But Columbus, what a game, what a way to end the era of Mafre Stadium, as they will open a new soccer-specific stadium a lot closer to downtown next season. I have a love-hate relationship with that stadium. That may be a story for another day, because I know we're way past time. But at least my lasting memory of that stadium is a special one, and is a special one for those players and the players that couldn't play due to COVID-19, and Darlington Nagbe and Pedro Santos and all of them that were a part of it, local guys like Josh Williams. It means a lot to the city of Columbus. It means a lot to the state of Ohio, and a lot to those here in Ohio who are huge soccer fans, that Columbus Crew won the MLS Cup and have continued to have so much success on a national and even world stage with their players in promoting the world's game. So congrats, Columbus Crew. From us here at Voice of Land to you guys, congrats. And at some point, don't worry, the championship gear will be draped all over on one of these shows. Tomorrow night, Browns, Ravens, big game. Had a lot of big events here in Ohio. We got one more tomorrow night. And while it is Monday, finally we can say, is it Monday yet?
Yeah, I can't wait. This game, it's a huge game. Once again, just to wrap up here, it is a absolutely magnificently huge game here for us. I think that this team's ready to step up, though, and really shut up all of the haters out there. I truly 100% believe that as long as Baker plays within himself and not try and do too much, which I think he's done doing that.
Yeah.
I think that this team can beat the Ravens and beat them soundly, honestly.
Going to be a whole lot different. While it was 3 months ago to the day, I feel a lot better about the aura and the juju on the game that it's 3 months and a day later, not 3 months to the day.
Right.
To the day later that the game will be there, and I'm looking forward to being there in a safe manner, but bring a lot of energy, and all you fellow fans will be there as well. Let's do this all together, and let's bring another one home tomorrow night. Just want to mention before we get out of there, fellow Big Play host here on Padone My Take also helps out on the Reflog show here on Big Play, Nick Padone.
Padone, what's up?
Congratulations, graduating college on Saturday. He has to miss the Ohio State game. He's upset about that, but trust me, graduating college, getting that college degree is a big accomplishment. It matters more than that. You will have plenty of Ohio State games to watch because Ohio State is going to be good for a long time. Congrats to you.
Congrats, brother.
On your
That's awesome.
On your college degree, and it'll be a special moment for you and your family. However they're doing it, it'll be a special moment indeed.
I got my degree from the School of Hard Knocks.
That's okay. That is going to wrap it up for us on The Voice of the Land. If you want to see Nick Paulus on our next episode prove that he can breakdance and make the Olympics in 2024,
there we go.
At him all week at CLE Paulus. Get him to do it here live on the show next week in front of the camera. Oh, got a little.
We'll save it.
Little taste, little tease, as we say in the business. But for my brother Nick Paulus, our producer extraordinaire Peter Tellup, thank you to Jerod Cherry, 3-time Super Bowl champion, co-host of The Next Level on ESPN Cleveland Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. for joining us and all of his insight here tonight. I'm Kevin Arnold, telling all you sports fans out there, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game, and we love you all. 3,000. Thank you to all our frontline and first responder workers out there and all those fighting COVID-19. We will see you next week.